The top Democrats don't want a debate with Joe on the stage. I saw yesterday that Donald Trump on Truth Social said, I see that everybody is talking about the Republican debates, but nobody got my approval or the approval of the campaign, Trump campaign before announcing them. Did you talk to him about the debates? Is he in, or is this just what he does? He did this in 2016.
Working the refs.
Every campaign and every candidate's going to have to make a decision. Do I want to participate? He's going to have to make that decision. I think he'll do it. And President Trump never shies away from a debate, and he did very well in a debate stage in 2020.
Ronna, he does.
2016.
He skipped hours. He skipped hours in 2016.
He did.
That's amazing. Oh my God. Wait. This is why I sometimes say, is Brian Kilmeade the best on Fox News? I understand the bar might be buried deep beneath the surface of the earth, but he pushed back vigorously. Now, granted, he pushed back because they had sort of like Trump had kind of besmirched him and Fox and Friends and all that by not appearing. But she said the absurd thing. He'd never shy from a debate. He constantly shies from debate. So I'm glad that Brian Kilmeade pushed back, and she had to admit that he did. To be fair, they're having this back and forth about whether he's going to appear, and we never know until the debate is over, because sometimes he comes, sometimes he doesn't. But here is what set it off. He bleated, I see that everybody is talking about the Republican capital D debates, but nobody got my approval or the approval of the Trump campaign before announcing them. When you're leading by seemingly insurmountable numbers and you have hostile capital N networks with angry Trump and MAGA hating anchors asking the questions, why subject yourself to being libeled and abused? Also, the second debate is being held at the Reagan Library, the chairman of which is, amazingly, Fred Ryan, publisher of the Washington Post. No. So that's pretty amazing. Look at the entitlement in that. So is he wrong that he's leading the polls? No, he is leading the polls. And assuming that he doesn't end up in the slammer, he will probably win. But the idea that they have to get his personal approval before they can have general debates that multiple people are invited to, that is pretty amazing. This dude, man, he is full of himself. JR, what do you think?
He's really trying to find a way to come up with these nefarious connections. And this is what happened in politics in general. But when you really have to avoid everything, because honestly, if you peel back the layers and you give this in normal terms of a human being, then he's basically saying, like, I'm leading. I don't want to have to take on any challenges. I don't want to have to listen to anyone come back and refute maybe some of the things that I say, to talk about the problems that I've had, to talk about my failures, any of that stuff. That's what happens in a debate, Donnie. It's the reasons why they have it, so they can pick you apart. And then you can maybe do the same to them. And we find who it is that we'd rather have, we being these Republicans that are watching this. But on the back end of that statement from Truth Social, the dude's talking about how this second debate with the Reagan Library. And the chairman of that library is Fred Ryan, publisher of the Washington Post. What does the chairman of a specific location where this thing would happen have anything to do with who asked the questions and how they ask those questions? Is the chairman of a library gonna walk out and go, okay, you guys, Fox News, you guys are setting up for this, but I'm the chairman of this building, and you guys can do what I say? It doesn't make any sense. But as long as you connect, this guy's connected to the Washington Post, and he also is the chairman of this library. Who cares? Who cares? The next question is always, so what does that mean? It's always the same questions. I've said it a million times: who, what, when, where, why, and how. And do it even like earnestly. Really? Oh my God. Fred Ryan he's also connected to the Washington Post. What is it that he can do as the chairman of the library that's gonna screw you over? Like, yeah. I really would like to know that answer, because apparently there's something.
And even if it was, his complete lack of knowledge or preparedness is the thing that's gonna screw him over in debate. That's always what screwed him over. Finding some tangential connection that gets you out of it is cover. It's cowardice masquerading as strength. It's like, I'm not going to KFC. I don't trust Colonel Sanders. The colonels are almost as bad as the generals. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with the chicken, you idiot.
The generals have never beaten the Harlem Globetrotters ever.
This is getting too complicated even for me.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.